Hey everyone, welcome to Moving Matt. We do all things cameras with a dash of vlogs and a little bit of travel. And according to Canon Rumors, it looks like there's going to be a Canon EOS R7 after all, so let's go to the park and talk about it. So in order to celebrate this news/rumor, I decided to put on this silly hat, bring out my 70-200 f4 from Sony, which I got a month ago, and apparently because I'm a fraud, I have not taken a single picture with it. Also, you know, I have work, YouTube, and a 5-month-old, but mostly I'm a fraud, and I have not taken any photos with it. So I've got this silly hat on, and I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna do some bird watching. And we're gonna be talking about this sports and wildlife camera that should be coming to the Canon EOS R mount somewhere in like 2022, June to December-ish. So the second half of 2022. Okay, so I found a nice little area here, kind of off the beaten path, with a creek in the background, so if I see any woodland creatures or birds or anything to take pictures of. But let's talk about this camera. Let's not waste any more time. So what is the deal with this APS-C RF camera? Why should you care? What do we know? And why are we surprised that there's going to be an R7 when most people expected them to have an R7 or an APS-C RF camera? Well, first off, if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you know the benefits of an APS-C camera, but just to catch you up really quickly, basically an APS-C camera allows you to crop in and get better pictures of wildlife and sports and things of that nature without having to have a big bulky lens or a big bulky body. You're able to crop in quite a bit, and the problem has been with the RF mount is so far we've only had the R5 that has 45 megapixels, so when you crop in with the R5 you're still able to have a pretty high megapixel count. But the more affordable R6 is only 20 megapixels, so cropping in with that would not be ideal for somebody who's looking to get a little extra room on the lenses. So moving on, why are we surprised that there's going to be an APS-C camera for the RF mount? Well, basically it's because of guys like me. No, essentially Canon Rumors has been very wishy-washy on whether or not an APS-C camera was going to be coming to the RF mount. Initially, we were hearing a lot of reports that an R7 was coming, which the R7 is the high-end APS-C style camera. And we were hearing that, hey, this camera is coming, it's out in the wild, it basically looks like an R6, it's going to shoot 4K 60, have a very similar specs to the R6. So we were hearing a lot of information about it, and it seemed like this thing is going to happen, but then basically nothing. And about 3 months ago now, Canon Rumors came out and said they are just now considering having an APS-C RF mount, and we're trying to get information on whether that's even a good idea from the industry. So after that latest rumor, most people speculated that maybe an APS-C camera was not going to be coming, but fast forward to today, and people who are excited for an APS-C camera should be very excited, because Canon Rumors has a CR2, which means it's coming from a very reliable source, that there will be an APS-C camera coming at the second half of 2022. So somewhere between like July to December-ish, somewhere around there, you should be getting an APS-C camera. They also said that the APS-C sensor is going to be a BSI sensor, so that means it's backside illuminated, and usually that means that it's way better in low light scenarios. So that is a big plus, especially if you're going to have a small sensor size. It's great to know that it's going to have good low light. And it also is great because we've been hearing that they're not going to be having lenses made for the APS-C line, but what we have heard and what we've seen is they just released a 2.8 16mm, and one of the things that was said back then was that's also a good focal length, not just for a full frame camera, but also for an APS-C camera, and 2.8 was very weird just to have it on a full frame. So I'm thinking that maybe they're going to be coming out with like a lot of 2.8s or even 4s, and they're going to be bringing that to the RF mount, and they're not necessarily going to have a lot of designated glass to the APS-C lineup, but they will have at least glasses that can be used as kind of a hybrid scenario. And maybe they'll make sunglasses in the future, just depending on supply and demand. But I do think it is a good idea now to know that they're going to actually have a BSI sensor, because even if it is a 2.8, the low light will be sufficient, and it will also meet the size requirements that are usually beneficial to APS-C style cameras. So what else do we know, and what else has been speculated on? So what we have also been rumored, or none of this is 100%, so what do we know is kind of a weird way of putting things. But what is highly likely is that this sensor is also going to be used in more than one camera. At least that is what the source that Canon Rumors has said. Also, Canon Rumors themselves did not have any confirmation on what the megapixel count would be, but said they believed it would be somewhere between 28 to 32 megapixels. Not sure exactly where they're getting that, but it is an exciting development for people who want just a little bit more megapixels in that APS-C range. I think a lot of people will be very excited about that. But really, that's pretty much all we really know about it at this point. I don't want to just try to drag out this video just to drag out the video, because we don't know much more than that. But I just wanted to get that information out to you. Drop in the comment section below and let me know, what do you think about this news? Do you actually believe that you're going to get an R7, or do you believe, hey, you know, they said before we were getting one and then they said we're not, and I don't believe it at this time? I understand that perspective. Drop in the comment section below and let me know what you think. What do you think the specs will be of this camera? Do you think it's going to be like the R7 first, or you think they're going to have maybe the cheaper APS-C camera come first? Let me know all below in the comment section. If you've liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And until next time, peace.